Okay, this video is quotes from my book on quotes, the Holy Grail of Wisdom quotes. The main speaker we're going to be talking about today is Stephen Covey. So here's my book, Holy Grail of Wisdom Quotes, P. Rogers. He's the guy who wrote the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is a very good book. I read it a long time ago. It's especially a good book if you got somebody who's like a high school kid or a college kid. Okay, a couple quotes before Stephen Covey. Phil Costano, he says, myths are lies that tell the truth. The point being there is myths really capture human behavior pretty accurately. The Greek myths are awesome. The best mythology is the Greek mythology. And the best book, Edith Wharton's book is the best one. There's other books on Greek mythology. That's the best one, though. Okay, Norman Cousins, history is a vast early warning system. Yeah, history basically tells you what's going on. I got a little cut from shaving here. Also, I got my Valentine's Day red tie, So history is a vast early warning system. Yeah, if you read history, things make sense. You can understand stuff. I can actually say most people, you can't really have a conversation with them about anything sophisticated because they know so little that they just can't handle anything sophisticated, and it's sort of like tedious to try talking to them. So I'm always nice to people, but I know that if they start freaking out with a minor subject, how can you ever build anything interesting and sophisticated? So anyways, you got to read history. You don't know what's going on. You should know things like the cyclical theory of history due to, Vico Giambattista, okay? You should know that sort of stuff. The Thomas Cole paintings about the course of civilization, All right, so anyway, Stephen Covey, here we go. To achieve goals you've never achieved before, you need to start doing things you've never done before. Yeah, you got to change what you're doing to make more progress. Trust is the essential agreement in communication. It is the foundational principle that holds all relationships together. Trust affects everything. It's very important to establish and maintain trust. One of the fastest ways to get trust is to give it. You are more likely to get trust when you give it. Innovation increases when there is high trust. Yeah, if you look at businesses, families, and people who really get stuff done, they do a lot of it on trust. So they don't have to keep going through all this paperwork and lawyers and all this other nonsense. Okay, trust lowers the cost of doing business and it speeds things up. Trust makes things more pleasant for everyone involved. The ability to create trust is an important aspect for marketing. Okay, then here's some stuff from his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. So habit 1 is be proactive. That means get going to make your goals happen. So he's a little bit like Brian Tracy in this sense. They're kind of complementary. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. So know what your long-term goals are, what your priorities are, and then you'll guide all your activities to achieve them. Put first things first. That means focus on the important things before you do all the minor stuff. Make that your priority for the day. Try to avoid all the minor stuff. If you can, delegate it somehow. Think win-win. Yeah, that's another thing. I deal with a lot of people, and you can tell if a person wants a win-win deal with you, and you're going to much rather deal with somebody like that than somebody who's always trying to take advantage of you. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Yeah, that's important as well. You get along better with people. And I kind of like the metaphor. Marcus Aurelius said a man should be like a cliff, and all day the waves, beat at his ankles, but the cliff is not moved. You just don't take all the minor stuff seriously. Usually if a person acts like a jerk, I just think they have to live with themselves, forever. I just have to deal with them for a couple minutes here. Okay, number 6, synergize. Yeah, see if you can create win-win or time-efficient ways to do 2 things simultaneously. Take time to sharpen the saw. It means, things like get your sleep, get your exercise, do what you need to maintain yourself in your non-work time. Communication is the most important skill in life. Okay, sort of a little bit of an ancient Greek perspective and oratory and whatnot. Beginners are many, finishers are few. What I see most people do is they have a hard time focusing their energy, and unless you're really focused, you're never going to have time for anything because most of us have to work a lot, and then you spend a third of your life working, a third of your life sleeping. There's not a lot of extra time. So you got to be really efficient if you're going to be able to do any big, challenging, creative tasks. Unless you are continually improving your skills, you are quickly becoming irrelevant. Yeah, you got to keep on learning. And I also think you got to kind of always have 2 things going on because sometimes you're going to lose one thing. It's going to go out of favor. It's not going to get paid, reimbursed anymore. So you got to be ready to do a second thing. In my experience, for example, I was an imaging guided surgeon, but I was also a neuroradiologist. And there were all these new opportunities in neuroradiology that I really wanted. And I was getting a little tired of doing imaging guided surgery. I was on call every day. So because I could do the neuroradiology, it was very easy for me to start doing neuroradiology primarily. I still do imaging guided surgery a little bit, and I still do general radiology a bit, but the neuroradiology is sort of like my special interest. And then also I loved all this brain stuff, nutrition stuff, study skill stuff, so I just keep doing this all as a hobby. And I like it. I don't make, pocket change, nothing with this, but I like it, and who knows, someday maybe I'll do it more. Beginners are many, finishers are few. Yeah, you want to be a finisher. The way you finish something is you plan out every detail of it, and then you look at your schedule. Where can I have time? Where can I have time to finish this? Like for me, it always comes down to finishing a book. Unless you are continually improving your skills, you are quickly becoming irrelevant. The key to creating passion in your life is to find your unique talents and your special role and the purpose and your purpose in the world. So basically, you look at your life and you say, I only got that 1/3 of the day is my time. And you don't even really have 1/3. It's more like 1/4 of the day is your personal time to do whatever you're going to do. And you got to start looking, how can I get more time? And for example, like I said, you put the magic bathroom, then you got time to read in your bathroom. Okay, you also do things like always listen to an audiobook or a podcast in the car, so you're learning when you're in the car if you have to commute for work. If you've got downtime at work, do some reading during that downtime. When you eat your dinner, watch an educational video or read papers on your computer or something. Always be trying to get something valuable out of your time. Don't waste any time. No TV. TV's for morons. No TV, and just don't waste time. If you do that, you'll be surprised how much time you can create for learning. Okay, he says, let's see what he says. He says, and that'll make you happy. If you feel like you're doing whatever is the best you could do based on your talent, your time, your resources, financial and personal and otherwise, and you seek the highest thing that you could do and give it your best effort, then you'll like yourself and you'll be happier. So it makes your whole life better. Okay, all things are created twice. First of all, it's created in your mind, and then it's created physically. So just like a building follows a blueprint. And the key to success is dedication to lifelong learning. I think, yeah, that's true that pays off because, as you get older, you're not as physically strong as you were before. So if wrestling is your favorite thing, you're not going to be able to wrestle as well when you're 60 as you could when you were 20. So it's nice to do something with your brain and something that benefits from experience because you'll keep on getting better at that. That's one thing I like about being a writer. A lot of writers, if they don't have cerebrovascular atherosclerosis, they keep on getting better into their 80s. So it's a nice hobby. You keep on getting better as you get older. That was the experience of a lot of writers, and they really enjoyed it as they got older. Look at Carl Jung, for example. So anyways, that was a couple quotes. The main one was Stephen Covey, the guy who wrote, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He's a Mormon guy. Smart. He's a good guy. So I hope that was helpful.